Alright, so I just have to give you fair warning at the beginning of this video um, that I may at some point break into like violent coughs or something like that because I've got quite a flu at the moment, and that's why I maybe sound a bit nasally. But this video is for anyone who's a content creator, who'd like to become a content creator, who's maybe been a content creator for a while, and you're becoming really successful now, and now there's all these other things that are happening in your mind. It's almost like imposter syndrome take two type of thing, and it can be quite an onslaught. So if you are there at the moment, that's pretty much where I am at the moment. Or maybe you're growing, that's a good thing to know about. So when it happens, you're aware of it. I just sort of want to talk to you a little bit about it, things that work for me, how to work through it. I am very, very fortunate at the moment. I am receiving this incredible self-development coaching from Aaron Doughty. Whoa, what are you doing? My dog falling off the chair. What are you doing? Come on, boss. I'm sorry, man. Oh. Whoa. Did you miscalculate your step a little bit, eh? Oh. Sorry, man. There you go. Chillax. Sorry. So, Aaron Doughty, Victor Odo, and Matt Sheffer. But I mean, I'll put links for them down below in the description. These people are incredible. We look at them online. What they do is exceptional. But through the coaching, they're sharing their stories. And sharing your story is so powerful. And that is one of the main reasons why I am here today, block notes and all, and I'll tell you about it. Because you know what? And it doesn't matter whether you're like me, you do like tarot and, self-development and personal development and abundance coaching. Or, you're a hairdresser, you do makeup, you do food, you review tires, Sorry. Doesn't really matter what you do. Just a second for me, please. We all sort of face the same brick wall of doubting ourselves. And I can tell you for a fact, even a couple of weeks ago, I would have not come on screen knowing that I, probably don't look my best today, I don't feel my best. But that is really what I want to speak about. I want to speak about showing up even if you feel like crap. And through your fears and through your doubts and through all of those type of things. And if you know me, if you've been following my channel for a while, I do thank you for it. I'm very passionate about helping other people, about empowering other people, about helping them find their magic and expand their magic and, grow their magic. I do apologize. I have been quite sick, so everything is a little funky. Sorry. I know that is terrible. Anyway, all right. So, what is the point of this video? The point of this video, well, first of all, I'm Adrian Nelson. For those who don't know me, hi, welcome. Thank you for your support. If you're new, subscribe. If you're interested in growing, because that's what I'm all about. So, when I first started, and you might find yourself in that same boat. I had so many reasons for why I shouldn't do what I do. And I started in July of 2019, late in July of 2019. And I solely started because I was living with my best friend. I just got back to Cape Town from Johannesburg. I had no money. I had 5 rand in my pocket, which is sort of like the equivalent of an American quarter. That's what I had, Very far short from a pound. Definitely not a euro. And my friend said to me, well, why don't you start making some videos and post them on YouTube? I'm sure people will appreciate that, maybe do some Facebook Lives. And I asked the questions that many of you may have been asking or might be asking yourself and might be struggling with. Why would anybody want another tarot reader online? I mean, there's thousands of these people out there. Some of them have got so many subscribers, so many followers. Why would anybody care about me? I mean, I don't have my life together. I will be such a fraud to tell people what to do with their life, and I don't have my life together. That's how you may feel. All right? And I mean, up until this point, July 2019, I've just gone up to Johannesburg. I've been there 2.5 months. It really, really didn't work out for me. I had to come back, couldn't find a job. I had to really do the one thing that is probably the hardest thing for me, and I had to ask people for money, literally, in order to eat and to stay. And I couldn't fly down. I had to take a bus down because I couldn't afford it, you know. And in the amazing way that life works, somebody actually got sick on the bus. A lady got sick on the bus. We were delayed by like 4 or 5 hours. But then because I used to work as administrator at a private hospital, I could call one of my friends and I could say, hey, you know, this is the situation, what's going on, and she could give us some guidance, you know, which actually, you know, I don't know for a fact, but it may have saved that woman's life. Okay? But, so, just a second from me. So I started with very little hope. I started with the expectation to fail. I really started so my friend would just shut the fuck up. You know, just let me be a miserable person who can't do anything for myself. And it was interesting because I would show up, especially in my Facebook lives. Now this was around the time, you know, just before the pandemic started, just before the lockdown started, and then the lockdown started. And, you know, at this point, I was already a qualified regression hypnosis practitioner. I was a Reiki master. I was a crystal healer. You know, and even though I wasn't sort of like a professional tarot reader, you know, I've attended some markets and things like that. And I've been at it for like a number of years, almost 20 years at this point. So I knew my stuff, but I had no confidence. And when the lockdown started, it affected me so badly. I was throwing up and I had stomach cramps and I had diarrhea and I very sorry, feelings of overwhelm and, you know, panic attacks and things like that. And I was saying to myself that if I am, you know, because I used to be quite full of myself. I used to have a lot of ego because when you are afraid, you typically have ego because ego normally comes from fear. You know, but I would say to people, listen, I thought I had my life together. I used to do this Monday to Friday live, 7 o'clock in the morning on Facebook. And I just wanted to share with people, you know, I said like, I thought I had my life together, but clearly I don't. You know, these are some things that I'm trying, these are some things that I'm doing to get through my days. And I just wanted to share with people, that was it. So nobody could be more surprised than me when people started to come around and asking for readings and wanting to pay a good rate for that reading, you know. And I would, and I just show up honestly. And then, you know, obviously you start going to a point where you get more successful and you think to yourself, okay, I need to be this proper person now. I need to speak a certain way. I need to do things a certain way. And that didn't really work for me. Because I can tell you for a fact, and you can ask anybody who really knows me personally, I'm not a prim and proper person. I'm just me. But funny enough, when I stopped trying to be this perfect person, I was just me, people resonated to that. And that's what people really speak about, and they speak about people connecting to vulnerability. You know, vulnerability doesn't mean that you say, well, you know, if I come online and I cry, everybody's going to say, oh, poor me, and they're going to support me. And it's like, oh, poor me. We're not talking about being fake. Talking about being honest and about being real. You know? It's about me having a blocked nose and having a flu and making contact to reach out to you because I really feel like talking to you. You know? And I may never meet you in person, but you're part of me. And I want you to do well and I want you to succeed. And that has always been my mission and my vision and my goal in everything that I do. And you know, we often start out with this mission and you want to ask yourself, why did you start doing what you were doing? You know? Why did you maybe start making the funky birthday cakes? Did you want to make a person happy at their celebration? Maybe it was, you know, I don't know, giving honor to maybe someone in your life that really impressed you, whatever the case may be. You know? I actually personally, and at a point my best friend and I, we actually had a business going because we needed money, where we were making these really exceptional cakes, and it was great. And we wanted the whole thing to balance the colors and the flavors and not just look pretty, but actually be very tasteful. Sort of like, our thing was like the moment you taste that cake, you want to almost forget how pretty it is, but that in itself makes it prettier. It was about the personal connection. And when you do something from that point of view, you can't go wrong. You do you. It's what makes Martha Stewart Martha Stewart. It's what makes Van Gogh Van Gogh. Or what made him what he is, who he is, or whatever. It is what makes these wonderful, wonderful coaches that I have, Arundhati, that's what makes Arundhati Arundhati. That's what makes Victor Odo, or Matt Schaefer, that's what makes them who they are. I'm Adrian Nelson because it is who I am, and you are who you are because of who you are. And there is a sprinkle of magic that you have that only you can bring to the world, And it doesn't mean that you obviously have to make videos when you feel sick and stuff like that. I'm not making this because I feel obliged to make it. I'm making it because I actually want to make it. Whereas before I wouldn't have done that. And not even all that long ago. Because I would have said to myself, oh my goodness, what will people think? And listen to how I'm sounding. And they will think that, you're just trying to look for pity. And we have all these things going through our mind. It's, for example, when I started to offer professional massages. Reiki massages, because I've always been incredibly good at massages, but it always felt a little invasive to me, And it's funny because I really enjoy it now. I really, really enjoy it now because for me it's about helping people release their tension out of their body. So tarot lets you know what's happening in your energy. Hypnosis gets you to sort of like clear out the subconscious, and then massages helps you to release tension in the body because tension is often sort of locked in the body. And I do that in combining it with Reiki. And maybe you've been looking for something to do different with your Reiki. That might be an idea for you. I'm a Reiki master. I'm exceptional at crystal healing, but I kind of found it boring. So I wanted to add something into it. Don't be afraid to experiment, as long as your intentions are pure and good. But anyway, so I used to have these thoughts like, for me, massages was a little bit like it's too invasive, it's almost like foreplay, what will people think and what if they feel. So like when I've had massages before where I kind of felt that, your hand was traveling just a little bit too much. It's like, well, what if people have that experience with me? What if they feel violated by me? What if, because I'm homosexual, what if men think that, I'm just trying to get like a nice sneak peek type of thing in there, that I'm being, sort of like a pedophile about things. But here's the thing about that. When it changed from all the story in my head to how can I help people? How can I be of better service? And I communicated that. Funny thing is I've got some blinds, you can see one there on the side. I've got some blinds running all the way around. There's some big cut windows where you can look out, and like from the outside you can see in from the road. And I learned very quickly that it's better for me to make sure that these blinds are closed by the time my massage clients arrive. Because men and women, old and young, of any caliber, they would just come in and they just take all their clothes off and they go lay down on the bed, Nobody's asking me, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3. But in general, nobody's saying like, sorry, that, okay, what are you going to do? And can I maybe just take my top off? People are, I promise you, nobody could be more surprised than me. People strip completely naked on the bed they are, waiting for their massage. And I suppose in many ways, that's a reflection of me, because I don't judge. It's not my job to judge. But when you get out of the story in your head for why you can't do things, and you set your intention, and your intention is to serve, you really can't go wrong, And yes, it's a good thing to, it's a good thing to obviously show up at your best. But, when I speak about being vulnerable, I speak about being real. And the realest real that you can be is to be you, And I still feel fear. Everybody else feels fear. These gentlemen are speaking about the fear that they're still feeling. And it's about really making peace with the fear. Sort of like losing your fear of fear. And this is actually an experience that I had which was quite profound. I was living in a different apartment about 2 years ago. Just over 2 years ago. And I didn't have rent money. And I think it was like the 20th of the month already, but I was like super short. I was like 3/4 short, you know. And I woke up this one morning and I said, okay, I still have, I think it must have been about the 18th or the 19th, because I remember saying to myself, I have got 12 days left in this apartment, and I'm going to make these the best 12 days of my life. I'm going to have the 12 days of Christmas, you know, in the middle of the year. And I think it was around June, it was around September. And at this point, you know, for very moral reasons, I wanted to be vegetarian. I tried really hard, and you know, I was trying to balance things, and you know, taking all sorts of supplements and make sure I get enough proteins and iron. But I was always sick. I was always sick, and it's because, you know, I mean, I didn't even know that such a thing was true. But my system needs meat, not necessarily a lot of it, but some of it, you know. But anyway, so I woke up this morning, and I said to myself, you know what, screw this. I'm going to stop trying so hard. Because I was asking myself, why am I trying so hard? And I realized in this dark moment that I was trying to legitimize myself to people. You know, I was trying to show people how together I am and how capable I am and how enlightened I am. You know, I was that old guru on the mountain vibe. Okay? And the message you get in people's mind is that, the message people get in their mind is that, you know, like, he's so high above me. He's so lovely, but he's still high above me there. And sometimes we don't understand why it's difficult for us to maybe relate to people or get clients or subscribers or whatever. And it's sometimes because people have difficulty connecting to us. So whether you are in a completely happy chappy mode or things are not going so well today, you don't have to go declare your stuff online. You know, your dirty laundry doesn't have to be all over the place. But be honest about who you are and where you are and what you dealt with and how you got to where you are. Because there are people that are struggling with the things that you are struggling with. Anyway, so back to my apartment story. So I woke up and I was like, fuck this. So I went to the store, I bought myself this massive T-bone steak. And I wanted to, you know when you grill meat and it's got like those lines, like those corrugated sort of lines, it looks quite funky. I wanted that on there. I didn't have such a pan, like a cast iron pan. I said, I'll just buy a pan as well. I might not be able to pay my rent, but I can buy a cast iron pan. Bought myself that, bought myself a bottle of bubbly. I used to have this big wall that was just like a mirror, just before I had my dog. So I closed everything, took off all my clothes, put on my earphones, put on some music, grilled that steak. Grilled that steak, poured that bubbly, and I had a wonderful time. And it was so funny, 2-3 days later, my other friend, a friend of mine comes from Johannesburg to come and visit me because, sorry, he said, I'm coming to Cape Town. Can I stay with you for a couple of days? I said, well, there's no problem at all. You're more than welcome to. But I just want to let you know that I might need to leave at the end of this month because I don't have rent money. And, you know, he said to me, have you checked your SARS, which is basically your tax, you know? Which is SARS is basically the South African equivalent of the IRS. And yeah, I had this massive payout, which was almost double the amount of my rent. And I forgot that I used to work for this other company. So really terrible experience. I think my whole brain just sort of, you know, blocked it out. But because I was working there for a while and I got quite a good salary, there was quite a good tax payout. And I just lost the fear through the whole experience. But it is after I made peace with the fact that I was feeling fearful. So I wasn't trying not to be fearful. I'd admit it, I was afraid. I was scared. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I said, well, maybe this is an opportunity to go in a different direction. And when you're a content creator, there's going to be difficult things happening because life is going to happen. And again, I'm not saying that you should air your dirty laundry in public. But you know, if we're just going to wait for motivation to come around, you're just going to wait for you to be at your best, you can spend years and years and years telling yourself why it's not the right time, why it's not the right moment, why you can't do it now. I mean, when my friend suggested I go on YouTube, I had so many excuses. You know, as I said, who want to hear from me, who would need another person, I don't have my life sorted out, you know, what if they don't like the way that I look, or if I just show them my hands and not my face, you know, am I maybe not being authentic? Am I not being brave? You know? And sometimes we do that, and sometimes you may do that. We think of reasons for why we can't win, and we roll with those, you know? But, I mean, just to give you a quick idea, if you don't know these people, I'll put links for the YouTube channels in the description. So I wanted to talk to you, but now I don't feel like talking to you anymore, so I'm going to cut this short soon. Yeah. But you know what? Have a goal for your channel, whatever it is. Even if you don't know what it is, share your personality with people. There's something that Aaron Dowdy said that I really liked. He said, you know, be the guide, not the guru. Because so often we try to be the guru, the enlightened one, the one who knows everything. And again, it doesn't matter what it is that you create content for. It could be for children's toys. We try to be this together person because if you're online, everybody sees you, and everybody's going to judge you. Let them judge away. You know, the keyboard cowboys who like to leave nasty little comments and stuff, let them do what they need to do. It means you're reaching some people. If you're reaching more people, you know. It's not always going to be easy. But when you do something that you're passionate about, when you share you know, share your struggles. Everybody's struggling. A lot of times we have this idea that we need to have life together, you know. And now you're going to have to forgive me because now I'm going to have to be horrible and disgusting and blow my nose. Sorry. I would not have done that too long ago. And I'm not doing this whole thing to show you how strong I am and how powerful I am. I just wanted to share a really honest moment with you. You know? Because I am, you know, I mean, my channel is not even that huge yet. I hit 3,940 subscribers today. And I mean, it was the most wonderful thing for me to wake up to, even though I was sick. But even me, for a while, you know, you start to get these people and these trolls that are leaving all these ugly messages and stuff like that. It's gonna happen, you know? Hurt people hurt people. Don't even buy into that energy. When we, a lot of times we try so hard to avoid painful situations that we actually end up doing nothing. And we live this cycle that we, you know, that is really not serving us positively, you know. Let the world see who you are. You can be inspired by other people, but let them inspire to be you, you know. We all have a story, we all come from something. Aaron Dowdy was selling women's shoes and he was miserable. You know, Victor Odo was living in a, from I believe he lived in like a trailer park at a point. You know, with his family. It's even harder. Matt Schaefer had nothing. Same as the way that I basically started. You know? Again, I'm not saying you must come on screen and cry me a river and make a whole dramatic show about it, because people see through that as well. So I'm not talking about showing up in fluff. But, and you don't even have to share with people how it is that you feel or what it is that you're going through. But your story is empowering. Because there's someone out there in the world that's going through what it is that you are going through. And they may not even need your guidance, they just need to know that they're not alone. They just need to know that, you know, this person on the other end of the screen that seems like they've got life so together, you know, and they wake up in the morning and somebody puts a silver teaspoon in their mouth and say, hello, you know. You need to see that that is not really what's happening over there. It's a person same as you, you know. And with AI and needing to impress anybody and having the best graphics and the best voice and the best music and the best entry and outro and whatever it may be, it's very, very easy to forget that content creation is something that's done by content creators, by people. You know, it's a personality that you have that shines through. Otherwise, it's just some more generic shit. You know? Don't be afraid to fail. I mean, if you look at some of my earlier videos, oh. But we all go through it. And we grow as we go along. And you become better by repetition. You know, sometimes when we start, we want to have the best camera, the best lights, and the best microphone. I'm recording this on my Android phone. Okay? I have created several courses on you know, an expensive camcorder, an Android phone, an iPhone, an iPad. Okay? Try to think of what is it that you can do as opposed to what is it that you can't do. If you think of what you can't do, you'll always have reasons for why you shouldn't do it. Always, without exception. But if you say, well, what can I do? And you can feel the fear. Don't try not to feel fear. Fear is part of being human. It's who you are. But you can change the relationship that you have with the fear. You know, that you don't have to be the horse and the fear is the one at the back with the lasers going, hee-ha! You know, go content creator. You know, let me drive you down on the path of damnation. Doesn't have to be like that. Okay? I wish you all the best. Remember that no matter what your magic is, the world needs magic and it needs your magic. You'll find your niche. Whether it is marijuana smokers interested in amethyst crystals, you know, or I don't know, or somebody want to move from corporate to a more spiritual life. People want to find out how to make funky paper flowers. Whatever it is, making your own wasabi, how to roll your own sushi, you know, how to roll your own fake sushi, your own vegetarian sushi, your own vegan sushi. You've got the desire that you feel inside to create. There are people that need that from you. And before they need your skill and your expertise, they need your heart, your energy, your legitimacy. Okay? If you feel the desire to create. Okay? I look forward to some of the things that I might come across that you do. And even if I never do, it's fine. Because then it's for other people. But let the world see your heart. There's more than enough fake people out there. You know, that's telling you like, you know, I am this multi-millionaire and my life is so fantastic. Look at my super expensive flowers. You know, but maybe you wanna share with people that that's where you wanna be, but you're not there yet. Or your journey and how to get there. You know? Or maybe you just wanna show them your super expensive flowers. Whatever resonates with you. Because I think the one thing of online material that gives us stress is when we're not ourselves. But when you do what is you, you find the people that resonate with you. Magic meeting magic. Okay? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I'm going to go take my top off now. I am sweated. I'm burning out. So I wish you all the best. I'm going to go get back into bed with my doggy. Hey, baby. Namaste.